today. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hope everybody doing well. See what's going on. See what we got real quick. We're gonna go live. There's a lot to talk about. If you're a sports fan, life fan, it all depends on what you into. I'm gonna get this stuff started up. I'm coming to you live and up close. So forgive me if my head is just too big right now, but I'm gonna have to adjust this real quick. Just trying out a few things. Coming back to you live. Let me get this question up. So I'm just starting off right now. I got the question already lined up. Let me add. Hope you're doing all right. We are live and in color. So I'm gonna put this thing on real quick. We are live and in color. Live, 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 live. We'll see how long anybody comes through today. Got some doing good today. Just gonna tag some things real quick. Right here. So don't be afraid. If you see a blank everybody's doing good today. Right here. What's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? What you mean the sound is off? Doing good. Doing good. How are you? I am right here today. What's up? I see we got a bunch coming through. I see we got a bunch coming through. Good to see you. Thank you for coming through today. I just need to get some people to come on in. Hello, how you doing? All right, Fortnite. All right, I know what that means in English. We got some people coming through. We're gonna talk about that. So now that I am here now officially, because I already sent out all the messages. So if you didn't get it, you're here. That NBA thing felt rigged. Luka Doncic will go into the Lakers. The Dallas Mavericks just so happened to win the lottery. The NBA is so full of it. It is so full of it. It's just so full of it. So full of it. So full of it. So much to get into. So much to get into. Anyway, I'm right here right now, so let's chop it up. Let me know where you're coming from. Glad to have you today, and thank you around the way. Thank you for coming in. It's gonna be a good day. Oh, 100% saying yes to the vote. I think I'm gonna get pretty much gonna be a straight flush on that one. gonna get a straight 100 on that one. I don't know what that means, so speak that in English because I don't know what that coded word means. Marianne. Yeah, so we're just on here real quick. We're gonna see what's going on. We're gonna be here for a while. Again, it's like the same. If I get people to come on, I'll be on for an hour. If not, I'll cut it down. I just want to make sure that people are coming through. So we will see. We will see. Just taking a chill pill today, but we'll see what's going on. I know the day starts off kind of slow, so we'll see. Just starting off with this everything. I do appreciate that though. That has yes, it is his birthday, and he turned 75 today, so that is true. Just giving up to Stevie Wonder, so that's what's going on. Yeah. So it's the last second. So yes, that draft last night definitely sounded felt like it was something going on with that. So Luka Doncic trade and with Anthony Davis, and so it's just so many people were giving Miko Harrison such a hard time about that deal. Even though Luka got the Lakers got knocked out in the first round, him and LeBron, and now all of a sudden now everybody now with this thing last night seems like a Christmas in May. This is crazy. That makes the NBA look so raggedy and rigged. I mean, that really was over the top last night. That they just so happened to get going to get Cooper Flag. That is just too good to be true. It's like you talk about you want parody, but then you turn around and do something like that. And of course, uh, Adam Silver was behind that. He was definitely up on that. Yeah, they knew what they're doing. As I always told this story 40 years ago, I was a teenager, and when the Knicks got Patrick Ewing, it was the same thing. I remember watching that thing, and it just was such a fake stuff, man. It really was just a farce that they did that. So this is not their first rodeo, and that's why a lot of people are kind of turned off by it because um, the NBA is kind of looking like WWF, and a lot of it's looking like TV wrestling. I mean, you see things that unfold and they happen, and you just you're sitting there thinking like, man, you gotta be kidding me! Like, who can't see this happen? You know, so they've been pushing agendas for so long that but they're not going to, um, you know, with the way they bring these players out of these schools, they're gonna keep doing what they do. So this is just, it's just a travesty, and it's like an insult. Yeah, what's happening? How you doing now? What's going on with you today? Thank you for coming through. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sure, you got some comments to say about yes, good day to you, and looking forward to what you got to say about. We're gonna get into it about last night. Mm-hmm. Get on what you thinking about what's going on today. as you know, Golden State also lost, and so they're now down 3-1. You know, in a fair world, you probably would have gotten top five. But then again, since you have Joel Embiid, you have Paul George, you have Tyrese Maxey, you're not going to get no sympathy. But the one that really hurts is probably if you're a New Orleans Pelicans fan. That has to be the biggest cap because that team doesn't win but so many games, and they all they get is 10th. That's just dog. But I did hear there's a rumor going to Zion Williamson's part of a package though, so we'll see. That's what I always hear. If he doesn't eat it first, but the Sixers ain't gonna get no love though. They're not gonna get no love unless, of course, Joel Embiid got traded for a package of M&Ms and some, something cheap. And he still might get traded. I don't think he will, but there will be a move. But I don't know if Philadelphia got anything anybody wants. I mean, that's the big question. Do you have anything anybody wants though? Because the last I checked, that's embarrassing. And they don't win but like 7 games. Well, Jordan Poole and Chris Middleton are stuck with nothing. Oh, it is bad there. That's you're stuck in the same backyard as Trump and all that, and you got nothing to go for what you got. I mean, it's just really, yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't think that they're going to, and I don't know what they can get, and they can't trade nobody. Nobody wants anything they got. Ruptured Achilles, ruptured Achilles. He, he got wheelchaired out. He fell pretty bad, and I don't think that. Obviously, I don't see him coming back, and they're done. They might pull out the game 5. If they do, the Knicks suck because it's over. It's over. It's so over. There's no way in the world they come back from this. And his injury was freakish. He fell. He twisted his ankles, and next thing I know, they got the wheelchair off him. So I know that that's usually a ruptured Achilles, and that's usually I play a doctor on TV. That's usually about a good 6 month plus. Won't be seeing him except in wearing street clothes for a while. So they're done. They're not gonna win this series, no way. Because New York played their best ball, and so now New York is playing their best ball. New York then out hustled them though. That's the thing. Bridges came up big, Hart came. They just out hustled them, and Boston got tried to get cute, and they get paid the price. I think they thought because they were Boston, they were gonna fold like a chair, and they had leads on them. Because being honest with you, you've outplayed them, and that's the only thing. If you're a Knicks fan, don't get excited because you're gonna play against a team that's not gonna let up, and that's the difference. That's the difference. And I'm gonna tell you something: the Pacers win, which it looks like, that's gonna be your worst nightmare. So people got the East wrong. Cleveland, and Boston both get ready to get knocked out. That's crazy. That's crazy. And in the West, I think deep down they would love for Minnesota to come out the West. Deep down. But yeah, he's not coming back no time soon. You can kiss that goodbye. If I bought them, I don't buy them. I like them, but I don't love them. I don't think they have a championship team. I think they play hard. They're not beating no Pacers. Come on now. If the Pacers beat the Cavaliers, the Pacers coming out the East. That's the way it should be. Because the Pacers got more talent. They're the deeper team I've seen. The Knicks have to play way better against the Pacers. And I'm gonna tell you something. The Pacers ain't gonna blow games like they did last year. And their road would be even tougher too. Because they got some improve right now. I'm just saying. I would have no problems if the Pacers came out. Because I know last year it had to hurt them that they didn't finish. Um, that wouldn't have worked. You think I should do a video about that? Should that you think that's video worthy? You tell me if you think that's video worthy. If you think it's video worthy, I'll do a video of it. Give me give me a one if you think it's video worthy. Give me a two if you don't. One is yes, two is no. I need to know. Yeah, but okay. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna have to clap on him. Write this down because he's tripping. Everybody's assuming things. And I have to put him in check too for this mess. Detlef was with the Pacers, but I don't know if Detlef would have been that dude. Boy, everybody talks stuff in hindsight, and he talked too much now too. Um, yeah, he was drafted in '87, but he wasn't the guy he became. And it's easy to say that in hindsight. I mean, that's like me saying if Arvidas Sabonis had to play with Portland with Clyde Drexler, they win multiple rings with him and Terry Porter. And actually, I could say that because the Blazers did go to two finals and they lost that Western Conference game. Oh yeah, we already know. We not gonna see him till next year, and probably won't see him till after maybe November, December next year. That was an ugly fall. That thing takes about 6 months to a year to get yourself back. So it all depends on how well he rehabs, and he's gonna be done for a while. It's a humbling experience. That's why you get your ring. You don't question stuff because you just don't know. It's always a freakish play that you least expect. Okay, I will address that about these cats talk like Sky Pippen was gonna magically give them a title. They act like you don't remember stuff. Peyton and Kemp didn't even come into their own to the mid early part of the '90s. And by the time they came into their own, I mean, who's gonna score the bulk of the points on the team? Sky Pippins always uses that guy to try to offset Jordan. Cracks me up. And they know good and well they weren't gonna win Jack. If we'd have had him, if we coulda, woulda, shoulda, yeah, okay. He tripping. He is tripping. Kemp was athletic. He was like, "Hello, how you doing? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, Mark?" Yeah, precursor to Blake Griffith, and a better, I'll say, a better. He wasn't because Blake Griffith couldn't shoot outside shot like Kemp, and Kemp was a better dunker. Kemp was actually more athletic. Blake was like a guy who was like a body double who was just big and he didn't know what to do with his strength. So he actually like he was frozen. Kemp moved. The problem with Kemp though is that athleticism and he didn't work on his game enough to get to balance. He had good defense. He was able to be agile, but he got caught up in a Rainman facade and it kind of shortchanged him. That was late in his career though. He could have been a lot better. I will give you this. He should have been a better version. He had the opportunity. Because when he came along, if you had some spring in your behind, you could show off. It was different when Kemp played. No, he wasn't a post, but he had a little outside shot, but he had enough to move stuff around. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking at if I'm looking who got the most out of what they got, it was Kemp. Can I say that? Kemp got the most out of his skill set. I think Blake didn't. But to sit there and say, "Oh, if you know," I could sit there in hindsight. What the heck they gonna have for a center? Because that was always Kemp and Peyton's problem. They'd have barely serviceable centers, and their bigs got ate up in the glass. And they got beat up. So I'm always laughing when I hear people say that. Though I saw both of them, and Kemp was better, but Blake had more to work with. But Blake didn't get it out of his system. They both underachieved though, and both of them were kind of like flash in the pan, and they both were seen for their athleticism, but didn't go anywhere. They handled him because he played like a power forward. He didn't play like a center. So when he was dancing in the circle, they could swarm him. So he had to pass out, and They didn't let him get to the box. I don't think Rich Porco's gonna come through. You know, Arkin when it comes through here, he's a big Jimmy Butler fan. The problem is they don't have no juice without Steph. Kamingas play good. Kamingas look good, and that's Steve Kerr's fault. And Draymond actually had a good game, but Buddy Hield, hey, he's 10 points below what he been cooking when he cooks. And so I ain't like the one to let it turn that grill on, so they cooled him down. But Zingas did okay. They missing Steph and they missing Clay. They missing the Splash Brothers. That's why they're losing this series. Just like the Lakers missing Anthony Davis. See, you got to have a closer. You got to have a closer. That's all you're saying. They had to have a closer. And Jimmy Butler ain't it. Buddy Hield, streaky. He might go off the next game. Then he might throw an egg on you. I don't know. The problem is they don't have a closer and they don't have a magic wand to make them look good because he can't. Because if he can't get them free throws, you gotta remember he needs about 15 trips to the free throw line. He somehow think he got a beard and he gonna miraculously turn to James Harden from 2016, 17, 18. That's what he thinks in his mind. He drives enough, he think he can do it. He's trying to force the issue. If Minnesota stays back in the lane and let him just shoot and don't go for the bait, then he has to think he's looking for a lot of and ones because he don't really have a set. He's not a set shooter. So Jimmy's not that dude, man. I think he did good to get to Golden State. And like I said before, I was telling RP in here, Rich Pocard, I said if he could play the sidekick to the alpha, but they don't have enough horses. They too light. And I told you who was the X factor for the Timberwolves? Julius Randle. Julius Randle on a mission. Only because he making that trade from New York to Minnesota look legit. Because at first it looked like cat had that looked like the Knicks had got over like a fat cat. That was like, but but oh, the surprise is he's scoring about 6 more points than usual. He's usually 17, 18, and 12. The fact this cat's throwing up 25 to 30. Oh, he's a problem. Hey, he's a problem. For him to be consistent like that, yeah. But for him to score more like he does, no, because he can do it. They can go to the finals. They can go if they don't get caught being cute and and they get on the game. They could be a problem because they can beat Denver. And if you're Denver, you don't want to really go and have to face them. And then if you're OKC, you got to find a way for Chad Hogan. Chad has to be dominant. You got to beat Minnesota with the bench. You got to force the issue. But if you play trade baskets with them, they'll give you a problem. No, Julius can play. He just was streaky. He can play. He's a really good player who sometimes can look almost like he's great. He's a really good player. Because remember, 18 and 10 for him ain't nothing. Remember that. So for him to put up 25 plus, oh, you didn't hear people talk trash about him too. Oh, he definitely. I knew Randall had good stuff. I knew he had the goods. He just was always frustrating with the Lakers, and he didn't really fit with Brunson last year. So that's when we got Cat because they thought, well, if we get Cat, we can beat Boston. That's why they got Cat. And Randall, if he fits in good with this, which again, if they're heavy on the perimeter, so if you can knock your shots down, and if they can never get the one on one that they want, then it's barbecue chicken is He's back as a broad on the broadcast. He ain't back like I wish people would stop this. He's back. He ain't go nowhere. All he gonna be doing is commentating. Let me tell you like this. I did a video, and if you watch my videos, I talked about it today. It's no different than Tom Brady at Fox, one of the greatest players, however you want to put him, in their retirement life, broadcasting and talking. That's it. What do people expect? Of course, if they're going to bring up the LeBron thing, and he's going to maybe address that, but I know he doesn't. But I don't think he's going to necessarily be a color commentator either. And I'm not expecting him to be Charles Barkley good. He just got to be decent enough that people will, you know. But I don't. He never really has said much of anything. So I mean, if that's what they want to do, I don't know what to expect from him. I'm not really. When all this hype is, are you hyped about Brady? I mean, it's not like you don't have people that you can get. Cause I really, the truth of the matter is, he hasn't talked so much that I don't really pay him a lot of mind, except when I see him here and there. That's for people that are trying to romanticize a particular era because they think, well, if he's back, LeBron won't get as much attention, and that's a lie. Cause LeBron is gonna get as much attention because he's gonna command it. Now, guys who he deserves it, that's another story. But don't start this goat crap. I listen to anybody that's a great player. So I don't. I guess I'm in the minority with this one. Charles Barkley talks just as good as anybody and was a great player. I listen. Rick Barry talked great points. I listen. It all depends on what your criteria is to have to listen. I mean, they somehow think it's gonna be. I don't really care if he what he says about stuff because he never gave a straight answer. He always, as an analyst, he's better. As a commentator, he's better. Don't come in me tell me Jordan's gonna come in and be as good as commentators no Charles Barkley. Because Charles Barkley's so good as a commentator, people forget that he was great as a player. I didn't say he was the level of Jordan as a player, but as a commentator and a communicator, Charles runs circles around him. And he's more funnier. He got wit, he got a personality. We don't see nothing of Jordan. Time I see Jordan with that cigar and he's always coming across like he's, competitive and throwing dice and cards. I ain't never heard no side of him that's different. Well, I've heard stuff about him. You know, he talk a lot of smack. he real petty and sensitive. But in terms of like what Barkley's been able to do, no. That's all I'm getting at. And he got knowledge and he's entertaining. So Jordan gonna come in there, Reggie Miller gonna be over there, gonna be all stiff, boring and bougie. Please. I mean, it's just that you selling the name. You're gonna be like Isaiah Thomas, kind of stiff and boring and bougie. I mean, that's what they want. I mean, I'm glad. I grew up on it. I respect his game, but I don't see what the hype is. I don't know why. I'm. You know why I'm not? Because I can see. It's like with Tom Brady, who I liked a lot, but these guys are not playing. So yes, he's gonna give his critiques and he's gonna say some lines and some stuff. But y'all acting like the narrative that he gonna come on there and says because he says LeBron needs to do this, that's gonna stop the narrative. He's not changing the trajectory of what's going on today. So it's not like he's coming back to make be some implement something because it's moved on. I'm not a huge Jordan fan. I dig him a lot. I hold him in high regard, but at the same time, he what's he gonna do? These people think that he's gonna somehow be a genie and snap his fingers like Space Jam, and everything's gonna resort back to '95 to '05 to '95 '05 or something. It's not gonna happen. The game that moved on, the things moved on. When he played his last All Star game and Tracy McGrady threw that ball off the rim, he had to know that hey, it was a dawn of a different day. There's a different level, the different trajectory. He's coming in a corporate capacity, give some thoughts, give some takes. I've already heard what he had to say. He's gonna diss most people that play today. He downplayed Steph Curry. He's gonna talk about his era. I mean, that's what they all do. Wait till Kevin Durant gets to be a broadcaster and see excited you are. I mean, you know. Now I give Steph Curry his due. He do go back. Most of these cats don't go back. You know who I'd be excited about if they turned to be a broadcaster and it would just be like, wow, would be Kawhi Leonard. That would probably be like the wow. And if he had humor and he was funny and cracking jokes, that would be hilarious. But I don't really, I guess it's because I'm so used to Jordan and I went through that, to be like Mike. And Ahmad Rashad was to Jordan like Shannon Sharp was to LeBron. So I've been through all that. Yeah, because he can't steer nothing. What happened in Phoenix? What happened in Brooklyn? I know about the toe, but what happened? He put those teams together. That's on him. Yeah, I think that he needed to make a statement, and he did, and he ain't the cat to make a statement. And these people are still delusional to think that he's somehow gonna turn it on next year, or the year after, like he's still contender worthy. He's not. I've been telling cats that last year from the games in Paris that the old guard is going bye bye. And that might be one of the reasons why Jordan is coming back because he sees what anybody can see. You name them, they're old now. LeBron, Durant, Curry, Kawhi, Harden, Paul George, and Dame Lillard's about going to join them too. They old. Offensively, I mean, if I use them as a category, but um, I never really seen him explode like I wanted. I seen him be a guy who was too cool for school. He gets 26, 27 like it's breezy. And that's a scary talent. But I ain't never seen him go high volume. And I wish he would have. I would have loved him to be a 25 shot a night guy and go crazy and just see what it been like. but he plays so much in within rhythm. He's you know, I almost want to call him Nat King Cole, like, because he's just so smooth that he plays a smooth game. When you say talents, there's a lot of cats I can say that are talented. That's oh, when I think of talents, hmm, that's kind of tough. I got to think about that based on talent. He says he does, but it kind of got me kind of looking at him sideways, his choices and decisions. So he might, but he has a strange way of showing it though. He getting all these coaches fired, and I don't know about that. He lost two coaches that won world championships, and he can't get inspired by neither one. That's great. I'm just saying. Okay, so let's see what we got. I like it when someone says Durant generally loves the game. I never have anyone ever tell me that. And I do like Durant a lot. If he'd have put his mind to it, he could have been right there in the debate with LeBron and Curry. Because talent wise, he was bad. Now I got to think about, do I say top, and not top five, top 10? I got to think about it. But your mind got to be tougher, and he doesn't have that. Thank you, everybody, taking the poll. I appreciate it. 83% still saying yes, so that's pretty high and good. All right, thank you for everybody's coming on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep the communications going. It's going to get kind of stiff now, so let's see. All right, see what we got. It's getting kind of quiet now. Let's see. Everybody go. Please hit them likes up. Please hit them likes up. Hit that poll up. Let's see what time we got. I'm going to see if anybody comes on. If it stays like this, I'll probably do about 20 more minutes because it seems like it's kind of slowed down. I know it's a good day, probably a great weather day. Those days people was daydreaming. But if you are streaming on here, feel free to converse. Talk a minute. Then you get you a bottle of water, or get you something. You just get your chill on. Maybe get a book and read. I don't know. What do I know? Anyway, we just picking up. So, but he's shown as a talent. I like him, but he's more very complicated cat. He can be very complex. You know, he can come across kind of trifling, so he can be hard to digest. He can be hard to read. You just really don't know how to read him. He has a tendency to kind of be a player that I found him to be kind of like polarizing, but for ways because of how he acts, though. It's just how he is. It's how he acts, though. And I like I said before, think he a great talent. Could have had even better situation. You know. So that's been the frustrating thing with him, and I just don't think he ever found no happiness with it. That's the only knock I've had with him. So you just kind of like look at him and you just think, I don't know. Mm. I'm thinking like it looked like things just went kind of quiet now. So we just mm, appreciate the people coming through for the views. That's what I got. Yeah, he like I said before, you know, they said that Dallas Mavericks from last night is definitely going to impact what Phoenix does. So we'll see how that means. I'm sure there's going to be some moves and shakes coming. Hey, what's happening? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. I was waiting on somebody to come through. It went quiet for a good 10 minutes because I'm thinking I'm going to be on here for about 10 more minutes. What's up? Glad you're here. Better late than never. I'm going to be on for another 15 minutes. It gotten real quiet. Probably about 15 more minutes because I got to get out. I've been on here for an hour, so Thank y'all for coming. So if you want to talk, let's hit it up. I'll give it an even hour today. Depends on what you mean by getting stronger. I think there's some bad stuff that's in the case, but then there's some stuff that looks like that could be process of elimination. He done some foul stuff, and it's gonna be stuff to explain away. But then I don't still see it as a Rico, and I don't think Cassie is a victim 100%. She knowingly knew what he was about. They were in business together, so she done with them by association. Now they gotta try to press something, but they're not able to press everything in totality. So I think it covers some of the bases, but there'll be stuff it doesn't cover. Could be any number of things. But when the case is strong, it's as strong as it's gonna be. They got pending things. Why do you think she? Because she was a willing participant. She was abused. There's two different things. Being abused and being a victim is two different things. Was she was she not compensated? Did she knowingly go into these situations with him? Yes, she did. She went in as an artist. She knew what his business was about. So she knew. Now, that is true about the abuse. Being a victim means that you were coerced into something that you were against and opposed. She wasn't opposed to it. She was at all these parties, all these situations with him. So, and if she was, the people that were watching it should be held as accomplices. There you go. That's why I said it's not an actual case. Because it's an actual case, you have people that go down with him. They want to make him out like he's Al Capone. This whole Rico thing, and you're the only one. Yeah, right. I'm not buying it. I say give him 15 years, cut that in half, and you're gonna strip him of a lot of money. Okay, let me throw this at you. She came in there with Ryan Leslie, who wrote Diamond Girl, who was her boyfriend, to Bad Boy. So they knew what he was about as a business person. So it wasn't like she didn't want to get down with him. She knew. I think they all should be, but that's not how it's going to go because the others did not upset the powers that be. He's the money maker. They gonna hold his butt to the fire. This is not about justice. That's why I keep telling you. If they wanted to take him down, they could have done it 25 years ago. If it was about justice, they could have done it 25 years ago. Okay? But if it was about the people involved, they could have been had him. This whole thing, the FBI sits there and lets you hang yourself. There's truth to that, but they also don't go after everybody because the industry green lights them. Believe me, if they want somebody to not feel privy to what they're about, they put money on them. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I've been telling you. Because these don't even make no sense after a while. You almost become numb to it. Oh, I know people gonna come in, well, you dignify, you justify. No, it's no doubt. No. I said, y'all sat on this for 20 plus years, just like R. Kelly. You sat on stuff. Why now? I got theories. They older. They start talking about where's their money. They start questioning stuff. You ain't got no train. You got no more. She allowed herself to be though too. I listened to her singing. She can't sing. She got pimped off. And when Ryan Leslie and her came to Diddy's, told him to hit the dough, and he took over. And she ended up messing with Diddy's trainer. They got three kids, two kids together now. So she ain't exactly escaped. You know, A lot goes on with that people ain't gonna say. And this is the thing. I don't hear no Diddy stories now. Shoot. Y'all went to them parties. Y'all didn't say nothing when the money was flowing, the drinks were flowing. Y'all didn't say nothing. And those parties aren't illegal. They might be morally wrong. They're not illegal because they're grown folks. Now, if they put stuff in your drink, that's no story. But if you sitting there participating, that's not no crime. You just freaky deaky. That's all. Cause I'm looking at everybody suspect. Gene Deal too. Y'all got all these stories and y'all got recollect and y'all ain't do nothing. Y'all act like y'all so scared. Y'all ain't scared of him. You're scared of the money that was put into him. So Brooklyn, 1991, when the stomp out with Heavy D, that started with that, and lives were lost at that party he threw. But he got anointed with Andre Harrell. He got moved up from Uptown Records. He got passed on to Clyde. Nobody said nothing. Yes, it has. The whole thing with J Lo and Shine, who Shine did that 10-year bid. J Lo got to walk scot free. She knew she had the gun in the pocket. Was scared for her life. That's the reason why her mama got a body. They got away from him. That's what got her body. That was the last straw right there. She knew he was messing around too, but she couldn't put the pin on it. But she was messing too. See, she was just as like he was. That's why she got with Matola, stolen songs off Mariah, and then had Benny Medina always hooking her up with somebody, and she always, because anybody's arm candy for her, because her track record speaks for it. I'm just talking about different topics. We talking about got a basketball topic. We talking about the Diddy case. We talking about whatever. It's freestyle. What you bring to the party, feel free, and we'll see if get you on board. So what's up with you? I always got something different we talking about. It's just that me and Charlene are talking about the Diddy case, which is the hottest happening case going today. So the next one, Jason Tatum got hurt at the end, but the Knicks look pretty good. It's 3-1 now, so they got to go to Boston and win the next game, and then it finishes Boston off. They better. They better not let Boston beat them. Jason Tatum got hurt pretty bad. But anyway, yeah, that's what we streaming today. And of course, there's always gonna be some Diddy news, and I saw some of the stuff yesterday. Mm-hmm. They not letting him out, but they shouldn't be locking him up for life either. Drain him for about $500 million. If he's smart, he tucks some of it away, and then he gets out, and then he goes somewhere low key. But I think what's gonna happen is that they're gonna put some other stuff on him. This is a takedown. They got it right where they want him. Okay. If anybody's on here, feel free to communicate. Let me know. Let me know. Don't be shy now. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Stevie Wonder. He turned 75. I got a video out, so feel free. Hmm. Yeah, I had that book. I had that book. That's J. Randy Tarbarelli. Bought that book years ago. I had to think. And about her and Rob De Niro, who willingly sunk her brother. You talking about Janet or Latoya? Latoya did get pimped. Jack Gordon was old muscle mafia dude. She liked all them strong arm dudes. The family spent a lot of time with a lot of them racket cats. So the industry's ran by rackets. So that's not a surprise. I had all his books. I had the one with Carla Miss Ross about Donna Ross, Magic and the Madness. I had all them books. Yeah, and the Janet Rob De Niro thing and all that, and Bobby Brown. Oh yeah, he strong armed her. She wanted this type of lifestyle, and that's where she went. He was connected. You know, that's how she messed with him. Don't let that old squeaky soft voice fool you. They be all into their mouths. So that's who runs the industry. So if you ever get a chance, watch Michael Franchese. He be on YouTube. He's got a channel. And type in about the Jacksons and the Victory Tour stuff. Stuff's great. I don't think she sank them. I think she just spoke on things that she felt. And she was scared. She messed up. There's a lot of stuff that happened at home. She had a lot of stuff happen. Her and Michael at one point were extremely close. It's hard to take what's going on with her. She had all that surgery and she looks, I don't know what she thought. I think she felt that he was conflicted with things. I got a feeling that she felt he was conflicted. I don't know if she looked at him like that. I think that she probably questioned his association with some of the boys. And I will say this: I did have her book, and she was right about "We Are the World," the song. Because she said it sounded meaning like Michael. She made some valid point. Now I'll say this: just because you cray cray and come off cray cray, don't mean y'all cray cray. I don't think he did anything, but I think by association it looks suspect. I think you don't put yourself in a good light. Can I say that? Because you become easy to manipulate, and it's the way, it's the levels that it goes. But I don't know if she thought he was or not. I don't think she did. I think she actually saw his life win as time went on. I can't say that she did or she didn't. I don't think she did. I think she questioned his agenda though. And I do think he made himself suspect, in intervals. Never said I thought he did. I just thought intervals. Because you're gonna be looked at kind of suspect if you run around, especially no matter where you are, where you are in life, people are gonna kind of look at you. But I don't know. Stuff when it's come, I think they were all. He didn't use nothing against her. She wanted to. She wanted somebody that was some muscle. She was attracted to a man that had a controlling nature. That's what that's about. I don't know if they all were desperate to leave. She did leave him, but she knew what she was getting into. You do realize if you involved with a figurehead like that, you do understand the ramifications. It's not like you can play all possum like I didn't know. You can't play all meek and sheepish. You know what you're getting into when you mess with cats like that because they're about that life. She did leave him, but she got with him for whatever reason. She didn't want the R&B life. She didn't want what she had. So yes, I did read about that. And that girl got in a lot of trouble. I remember some years ago, 2 years ago. All right. 89% saying yes. This thing should go ahead and say 100. You know, Goodwill, Dallas Mavericks. Yep. I had heard about it. I said a couple years ago, something like that. And the girl got in a lot of trouble. I don't think that she would have put hands on that girl if that girl hadn't done or said something to her. So, yes, 9 times out of 10 it's justified, especially when race is involved. Well, let me just cut to the chase with this. Can't neither one of them talk about a good man because Janet ain't never had a stable relationship. So how could she tell somebody about stability when she ain't never had a stable relationship? And she didn't try everything in the books. Okay, you know, Janet ain't the one. If Reby went and told her, that's another story. Janet ain't the one. Janet got used to a lot of sharks because she was in the industry as a girl, but and she smelt it. But at the same time, she can't talk about nobody. She ain't never had no stability in none of them situations. Cause if she did, things would have been different. And here she is. She could still perform, but she's still trying to cash some loot. Yes, but Janet was dealing with her own mess with James DeBarge and with others. Okay, so it's not like Janet was gonna be some deep thinker. And Latoya, I told you what Latoya did that for business. He was muscle. She didn't want to mess with artists no more. She went through that with Bobby DeBarge and so on and so forth. She didn't want to do that no more. Okay, please don't curse at me, okay? And the second thing is this: you're gonna disagree with me, but I didn't say anything about perfection. I said that I'll say it like this: I followed the family, I made observations, and all I said was Janet was they did not have what I call the proper structure. Only person that I think could have really spoken up about relationships at that time from that family in totality would have probably been Reby and Marlon because they had Tito to an extent at that time, but those two in particular with the unions. Everybody else was a wild card in that house. So, you know, what do you mean you should have taken the jet? I don't understand that. Yeah, well, Reby got away from the spotlight, but you see, Latoya wanted some of the spotlight too. There's two things that you got to keep in mind. It's hard to have a relationship when you rocking that name and you trying to have a relationship and you rocking that name. That's why Janet tried to go low key. Yeah, well, you got out of here too, So thank you for warning is part of the advice. Not aggravated. I'm just not really trying to get into a whole lot of stew about Janet Jackson, Latoya Jackson's personal life, and all. I just was making the comments about Jack Gordon. You need to go. I don't even know who this turkey is, but no. I just got asked the question. I gave a response, and that was it. I had no more to say about it, really. I mean, it's a matter of who. I'm not the one who got vulgar about it, and I didn't say anything about it. I'm not agitated about nothing. I just answered a question to my best ability. And if you before you commented, I got asked a question about Jack Gordon, who's Latoya Jackson's former husband. So, which doesn't really come up in the conversation as much. He came and he went and he was gone. And the whole family had embraced him because Joe was like front line, hook, line, and sinker. They did pass the initiation of who they keep around and who they don't. But they got a way of doing things. That's a whole nother story about the Jacksons and their relationships. That's a whole different video. So, just ask the question. That's it. What's going on? How you doing? Thank you for stopping through. You can live anywhere in the world, unless, of course, you live in the deep, dark chocolate city. Yeah, you're not going to avoid it. It's pretty much wherever you go. It's a matter of how you handle yourself and what you deal with. I learned how to compartmentalize. I learned how to tune stuff out. It happened in Chocolate City. It can happen anywhere you go. No, I'm good to go. I'm not mad about nothing. It's all good. It's all good. Just a matter of disagreements, but that's all. But ain't nothing deep. I think it was a good conversation. And I just adjusted because I had those books. I read those books. I had those books for a long time. So it depends on how you look at it. Mm-hmm. All depends on how you look at it. Yeah, and then Hillary Clinton couldn't do it. So he gets away with whatever he wants to get away with. He's been breaking the law ever since he's been in. They gave him immunity from the court, so take it over to the Supreme Court. They let him do whatever he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Sure, we got something. Mm-hmm. Like I said before, what do you think of none of them? None, zero. I don't like none of them. None, zero. Until they give black people reparations, none. None. You don't watch my videos. You will watch my videos and you watch what I say. I don't feel none of them. It's been a racist institution. It's been a one-sided affair, and they have treated black people like second-class citizens. I don't find none of them to be good. Mm-mm. There's been no reparations. If you don't have no reparations, we got nothing to talk about. Nope, zero. I don't think you're gonna try to change my mindset because I'm in my mindset, and I ain't seen no. It's a farce. It's a joke. It's like watching TV wrestling. And a lot of acting that goes on, and people lie and they tolerate it. How are you going to what? How am I going to what? You can get not in Poland, but you can get reparations wherever you are because they still tax you. And don't ask questions like that because if you read, you know that if you were still a citizen, you can still qualify. You still pay Social Security and you're still taxed. So before you ask, you can read on these subjects. They're right there to Google, unless of course you the term is if you do like Tina Turner did and you renounce your citizenship and you got to pay a certain amount of money, which people do. But if you're entitled to it as a citizen, you would still get something as a payer. So, but you can be taken wherever you are. As a matter of fact, all them countries that do associate with slavery and build off of it should be paying too. So that's another story though. All right. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I appreciate everybody taking the poll today. 90% says, yeah, they know that's been accurate. Nothing else. They know that was fixed. Mm-hmm. It's realistic if they want it to be. Don't tell me they've given every other group money. Don't tell me that. They've done it on purpose to downplay it. There's no excuses. They can make money whenever they want. They do whatever they want to do. That has nothing to do with nothing. And as a matter of fact, they hired a guy who was reckless during the pandemic. So what's that say about them? How serious did they take it to bring back someone who's a weak leader doing it? So what's that tell you? And those terrorists were self-inflicted too. Even Ronald Reagan said that was a bad. Do you never do something stupid like that? But you don't because you are banking on the present for the future, and you don't know if that stuff is going to hit. And if the thing with China messes up, you in real trouble. As if you ain't already. No, they don't. Oh, so let me hit you to something. Who do you think the Native Americans are? Who do you think they look like? They look like me. Do your history. They look like me because black folks was over in the states. The Seminoles, look it up. Black folks are the natives. You had them before Africa transatlantic coastal. You had black folks over here. So yes. So you won't come in here talking about the most. Black folks helped build everything in the states. Everything was built off of slavery. The trade, the whole nine. So when you talk about it, make sure you got your history. It's nothing as a pipe dream. It's not realistic to you because you don't think black people deserve it. See, if you thought black people deserve it, you wouldn't say anything like that. If you knew your history and you well read, you don't say nothing like that. I can always tell when people are well read. I can always tell when they've gotten fundamentals about how these things really are because they don't talk like somebody that's on Fox News and they don't try to say that that's a pipe dream when they can make what happen. Because if they want it to happen, they make it happen. They don't want to because they don't value it. That's why. But they want to put everything to remind you of so-called DEI. They want to go back at Jackie Robinson. They want to go back in time, but they don't want to acknowledge the war too. So they do these things, and they make you think that they can't happen. Oh, but they want to mess and tinker with history because Black history is American history. That's what they do, and they manipulate the game so well. So when you ask me, do I like any of these? No, oh, we're talking about culture of people. I'm not even going to talk about other nations. I'm talking about Black America, what went down. I'm talking about the Jim Crowism. But a lot of people got their reparations too. Now, when you say that, make sure you understand people got their reparations too. They loved him because he was seen as this crossover sensation because he appealed to Dr. King. He appealed, but he didn't do nothing. But it was Lyndon Johnson who actually signed the civil rights thing. But the Kennedys got the like they were about it. What do you think black folks went through? And why do you feel like you have to be vulgar to say that? Do you hear me use vulgarity on here? No, they're not. That and it doesn't benefit black people anyway. Those government assistance programs benefit white people. Who is the majority? Everything that Trump has been pushing, legalize, and pushing to agendas is going to actually hurt white folks. That's why the folks then turned on him. It was this notion that if we take everything away, we're gonna hurt black folks and the other folks. Come to find out that when they pull the veil from the behind the screen, it's been folks who've been affected, not black folks. But they wanted to make it sound like it was black folks. Nothing. If you get mad because of the legalized Jim Crowism. Get mad because I appreciate it. I understand it in parts, but I appreciate it. I try to be more educated and enlightened because I always believe people who use. I'm not saying it in totality because I understand it in parts, but tend the people who curse a lot tend don't have the words to express themselves because they're using that fight and they're angry about things that they can't spiritually reflect on. I understand. I didn't say the stamps, the EBT don't help. But see, there is this stereotype that it's all about black people that are getting the stamps. It's a stereotype that black people are the ones with the front of action. It's a stereotype that black people had to get all these handouts when it isn't even close to the truth. Because if it was close to the truth, you would have a more balanced world. You don't. You don't. You never had an America that shared anything. If you did, you wouldn't have Black History Month. How are you gonna have a Black History Month when you're born and bred and you're taxed and as a citizen of the United States? Make that make sense. You ask me, do I respect any of these presidents? I tell you no. If you're born in a country, you're born in a country. You shouldn't get the shortest month or just one month to signify your presence. You should get every month because you are the history. You are the maker of it. You had a black man who helped out with plasma relief and Dr. Charles Drew, Benjamin Banneker. You had everything that you can think of historical put there, and you're still acting like you're brand new. So no, there is no love for what they put down, none whatsoever. Love Black history, but it needs to be taught as a totality of American history, not whitewashed and not sanitized down, not shaken. Yeah, you can dispute, but you just got through saying a lot of black people I've talked to like black history. And you say some facts that dispute you. So make up your mind which way you're going with it. Only thing I ever say about this is that different people taking things in different consideration. However, as you're gonna come to find out as what's happening, it's gonna be a divide that is going to be it's done in a way as it has been done to cause people to pick sides and see the whole political jargon has nothing to do. It's just all it is. It's just something that's been manipulated, and I don't see nothing that comes out of it. So that's all I'm saying. So I'm trying to understand when you say a lot of black people I talk to like black history, and then you say some facts that dispute you. So please articulate what you mean, and I would love to address that. The only thing I said is they don't teach it in totality. They don't tell you who you really are. There are parts about Dr. King that they never. They got that one guy, uh, Charlie something. He was talking about trying to use Dr. King's quotes. They don't quote everything that Dr. King said. Because I have a quote right here from Dr. King that I will share with you, and I wrote it down. I'll read it to you. Dr. King, which way its soul shall go. This is actually from 1967. Which way its soul shall go. He says, sorry to have to say the vast majority of white Americans are racist, either consciously or unconsciously. That's a quote they never say that he said. 1967. It's there. Almost 60 years ago. Dr. King, which way his soul shall go. But they just want to concentrate on I have a dream and the 1963 speech. They don't want to talk about how he felt towards the end of his life. They use things to manipulate. So that's all I'm saying. And okay, to me, there is one major thing black people have. Well, you have to go back to a foundation that you love one another for one thing, and that's the biggest problem we have. This competition, this think that we gotta be divided. That's the problem. Yeah, the rise of the inflation. I think they should probably this if I was left up to me and the money is there and they have trillions of dollars, they should make every black person. There's a few things I would say. So here, they should be a millionaire. They should have free health care. They should, if they choose to stay in the country, only have to pay 50%. They should have free passports to go wherever they go because that would be part of it right there. You shouldn't have to pay to leave when you never asked to stay and you're being coded in places that reward it. So you should have access to that. You shouldn't be able, you should have free education. You should have free medical. You should be able to go to any bank and get loans. You should also get apologies from the police. They should work for you. See, we want a world where it reflects that you are there. Yes, because it's a billion trillion dollar enterprise if you know about the slave trade. Yes. Oh, you didn't think I was gonna say no $100,000 check, did you? Yeah, they're gonna say 500. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Totality. Oh yeah. For and emotional and abuse, psychologically and spiritually. There are a lot of black people who've gone gone through the trauma of being black in America. Walking while black, driving while black. You been racially profiled? Oh yeah. You gone to school while black? Oh yeah. You gonna go for a job because of your name and you didn't get a job because of so and so while black? Yeah. You gone through car dealerships, places, banks, people gave you all that? Oh yeah. See, I'm not saying it to be greedy. I'm saying it because you need to do the thing that would balance it out. Oh, they've done that. It's just that it's you know, well, it is used as a way to how you doing? It is used as a way when they compensate people for it. They do, they do. But you see, it's part of institutionalized systematic racism. It's not just based on one thing; it's based on the totality, and the totality is economical. How you doing? How you doing? As TSP, it is economical because they use that as a means to keep you in check. So it's not just done based on one thing. It is a big picture. I'm gonna go in about 4 minutes because I gotta go. Got 4 minutes to go. So it's not a get rich scheme or nothing. It's about a reality of an investment. See, first of all, if a country, if we talking about, well, we can say that. Thank you, TSP, on that poll. Thank you. You know that mess was fixed. I'll be on for 4 more minutes. I got a few more minutes before I go. So don't go just yet. Because if you got a question, feel free. Obviously, the mindset, but you have to take care of the people. Actually, when they was Jim Crowism was separate, and you had Tulsa, Oklahoma, before the whole massacre over 100 years ago, people were thriving in the United States, separate but equal. So it was there. It's been proven. It's been proven. And it's been allowed to be like that. Max Muhammad on Facebook. Max Muhammad. MAXMUHAMMAD on Facebook. Blue Sky, I should be under. Yeah, when you look me up, you add me as a friend on Facebook, and I'll link you to my Blue Sky because my Blue Sky's got all my other stuff on there. That won't be hard. Are you on Blue Sky too? Because if you're on Blue Sky under the sporting page, I'll look you up and then I'll link you. And then I'm on Substack too, so I'll link you up on my stuff. I'm on quite a few places. I don't mess with Twitter. I mess with Blue Sky. I don't mess with Twitter. Twitter still got me. I don't mess with them. I haven't really put nothing on there since that turkey took over. So, and I really ain't messing with them. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I won't mess with that. Oh, I post like my poems and my stuff on Blue Sky. I just it links up. So all my stuff. Sometimes I put videos over there on Blue Sky. Some of my YouTube videos I put over there. I haven't really got all into it, but I got some people that I follow. I figured it out, but I'm not messing with Twitter no more. I'm done with that. And kids where the sun don't shine. I don't mess with that. They can have it. I can't get with that. That's against my you know how I am about that. be feeling no musky musk. So yeah, I went over there to Blue Sky. I got on it. Been on it for a minute. I haven't really like dabbled hardcore, but I mean, and I got Substack too. Substack. Let me look. So I'm on Substack. So Substack's under my name, and Blue Sky's under my name. Let me go look at Blue Sky. Hold on, don't move. Okay, Blue Sky TSP is called the Real Maximilian Muhammad. So you can look me up. You'll see me with a hat on my head and a red jacket. The Real Maximilian Muhammad. Blue Sky is like Twitter, but it's not. Yeah, I don't mess with no. I'm done with Twitter. I guess with the Sky. Blue Sky, you can download. It's pretty easy, and then you just kind of link it up. I figured it out. I got in, and mine is the Real Maximilian Muhammad. Kind of like that, yeah, yeah, the real, but it's IAN, not ON, and it's two M's under Muhammad. It's the Real Maximilian Muhammad. So Muhammad and ILIAN. And you see me, I'm wearing a red jacket and a beret. I got a hat on my head. You'll see me. I've had that one for a minute. Yeah, I tried different things because anyway I can promote myself. I go to different places and I get tagged and met some cool people, and I'm not giving myself to no whackness. So kiss that goodbye. Thank you. So when I go over there, I'll add you. Thank you. Yeah, there you go. No doubt. No doubt. We can connect. And sometimes when I be linking up some other stuff, you can see some stuff I'm linking. There you go. Because I got hooked. Well, I think my cousin pulled my coat over there to the Blue Sky, and I thought, okay, I'll get down with it, and it was a lot cool. Okay, I will. That's a strange series because the Celtics, for the most part, outplay them. I don't mess with I don't do AI, but I understand people that do. I know there's money in it, and I mean they'll probably find a way to get me to doing it in some capacity, but I'm just fighting the system with it. I don't really want to mess with it, but I understand. I get it. It's very demonic, and especially when they be having the eyes and the stuff be when they use the features, it can be creepy. Because if you go to ancestry.com or you see some pictures moving, it can be creepy. I had my first exposure to it a few years ago because Prince's Controversy album is a picture of him on that album cover, and they had his eyes moving. I was like, oh my god. I think because it goes to this plantation mindset with black folks, and if you think like that, you're gonna stay like that. And they get this notion that of acceptance in this country, trying to appeal to a country that don't accept them, so they get sold as individual. It's not until you wake up and see what's really going on, because you'll never get to the mountaintop. Dr. King told you, and it's just not what it's cracked up to be. So you better be spiritually fulfilled or have something else going, because what they trying to sell you on is gonna make you walk like you got loafers on. 79% saying yes. Okay. I think it's just always hope because of the craziness that's been involved. That's what I like to think. And there's always this, we gotta be better than this. We hope that we will. What are you supposed to do as a people when you got a two nation system? That's all they tell you. And they flip you back and forth. And they've used you. Biden uses you, Trump uses you. What you gonna do? You gotta have something to believe in. You're taught a doctrine that has never accepted you. School system start. Do you know national anthem? They don't even sing the correct verses because Francis Scott Key's extra verse talked about lynching and embracing slavery. They don't leave that verse out when they do the national anthem, but they had a problem with Colin Kaepernick when they don't even do the anthem the right way. So they got a lot of nerve. People ask me why I don't respect why I don't have a favorite president. I said, well, look at how they didn't treated folks. How could you get excited about a place that has treated you like a second class citizen and your people also they make a concerted effort to just do and say whatever they want to. This woman calling the 5 year old the N word and things like that. If you're really that progressive, you would be ashamed of yourself for what is tolerated. So, anyway, on that note, I'm going to conclude and I will be back tomorrow. Appreciate everybody that came through. Great to see you. We had some real fiery stuff, but there ain't nothing but respect and embracing for folks. So don't, we cool. I gotta give me some air and get out. But I gotta do some studying tonight too, some Bible studies. But anyway, appreciate everybody. And thank you, TSP. I'm gonna check you out on there because if it's on there, I'm gonna link up with you and link me up on Facebook too. I can run you some stuff through too. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for stopping through. Bless you. Peace. I will be back tomorrow. So about one time. Peace.